Baby Jude has been taken. AJ was sipping his coffee in the Dimera living room when Nicole entered, clothed in workout clothes. I thought I would go for a walk around the lake, breathe in some fresh air, she added. AJ offered to accompany Nicole, but she declined, stating that she preferred to travel alone. Obviously, last night was difficult. But now that I know our baby is safe, I'm at peace, Nicole said. Nicole exited the house, pausing at the flower garden by the front porch. Nicole remembered saying goodbye to her son's ashes in that spot. Nicole walked away with a groan. Jude sobbed in Sloan and Eric's apartment. Eric and Sloan were sluggish, complaining that they hadn't slept all night. Eric began to rise, but Sloan stopped him. You did all the changing and the rocking and the feeding last night, Sloan went on to say. Sloan promised to take Jude for a walk. Eric nodded and rolled over to sleep. Sloan pushed Jude in the stroller and declared that she was going to the bakery. After yelling at the youngsters, Leo whispered that he would exact his vengeance on Sloan. Sloan pulled Jude's stroller through the town square. At least you're not crying anymore, Sloan pointed out. Sloan remarked with a grin. Infant Jude enjoyed their early walks. Sloan's phone rang and she answered it reluctantly. What do you want? Sloan inquired. Your head on a platter, for one thing, he continued. Sloan stated that she was unable to speak since she was caring for the baby. You mean Nicole's baby? Leo exploded. Sloan was labelled a baby thief by Leo. My Dimitri was sent to Supermax, which means I may never see his gorgeous face again. And that is on you, Leo went on to say. He apologised. It's a federal facility. There is nothing I can do, Sloan admitted. Sloan, according to Leo, had despise and despise your pathetic ass for the rest of my life. Leo shouted. Sloan requested time, frustrated. Leo told Sloan that if she didn't satisfy his expectations, he'd make sure she felt the same misery he did. Sloan's cup of coffee was accidentally dropped after Leo concluded the call. Sloan discovered her wallet was missing when she looked in her purse for it. I must have forgotten about it in the bakery. All right, little Jude, I'll be right back. Sloan spoke quietly to the sleeping baby. Sloan dashed inside the bakery, leaving the stroller parked in the plaza. Someone approached the stroller and moved it out of the square. Sloan exclaimed as she walked out of the bakery. Where's my baby? Sloan inquired. Sloan pleaded for assistance. Somebody stole my baby, Sloan yelled. After Sloan dialed 911, she called Eric and roused him up. The baby's gone, Sloan whispered, so happy in her eyes welling up with sorrow. And isn't it wonderful to have a new grandchild? Marlena explained. Roman concurred. I think I'm getting a little obsessed, Roman admitted, laughing. Marlena said that, despite her worries about Eric's relationship with Sloan, she felt they would make it work. They're like family now, Roman explained. And I hope that they can really enjoy the happiness that a new baby brings, she remarked. Marlena shrugged, saying she didn't know how Sloan would manage a kid in her high-stress profession. I can't imagine she'll be giving that up, Marlena stated. Roman concurred, and he mentioned Sloan's ambition and energy. Eric's phone rang, and Marlena answered it. This is Jude. He's been abducted, Eric explained. Harris sat at the foot of his bed, cuddled up beneath the sheets with a sleeping Stephanie. What have I done? Harris mumbled. Harris's phone rang. Crap, exclaimed Harris. Stephanie jolted awake. Oh no. What occurred? At the Dumera mansion. Stephanie mumbled. EJ's phone rang with an Amber Alert. Oh God. Another baby gone missing, EJ stated. When EJ observed the time, he dialed Nicole's number and left a message. EJ expressed concern about how long Nicole had been gone and requested her to phone and check in. Rafe directed Harris to question witnesses in the square while he spoke with Sloan. Sloan begged Rafe to help her in tears. I left my baby here. Left his stroller right here. Went inside to the bakery for like seconds, came back out, and he's gone, Sloan explained. Rafe allowed Sloan to cry on his shoulder till she calmed down. It's like, you left your baby in the stroller, Rafe inquired. Eric rushed up to Sloan and hugged her. Why did I even leave him for a second? What type of mother abandons her children? Sloan stated. Sloan was hushed and Eric begged her to calm down and answer Rafe's inquiries. Rafe inquired whether there was anyone close. Sloan replied she had been on the phone and shook her head. No. Just left him alone. Sloan stated that Jude had appeared and stated that no one had seen anyone depart with the stroller. Do you have any idea who might have done this? Harris inquired. Sloan shook her head, no, after a little while. I don't know anybody, Sloan said quietly. Eric took Rafe aside for a private conversation. I hate to even think this, but as you know, Nicole, Eric tried to say. She did once take a baby. Sammy's child, I'm going to the Demiras' right now to talk to her, Rafe stated. Rafe walked away. Nicole had not returned from her walk when Rafe arrived at the Demir estate. Rafe revealed that Eric and Sloan's child had been abducted. We saw them just last night. Where did this occur? AJ inquired. At the square, Rafe explained. Rafe inquired about Nicole. AJ was worried and questioned Rafe if Nicole was a suspect in the kidnapping. I'm just trying to find the baby, AJ blurted out. When Rafe objected, AJ said that the ceremony had brought Nicole serenity. Nicole had given Eric and Sloan a present for the baby as an apology, according to AJ. I'm glad she's at peace, but I still need to talk to her, okay? Rafe responded. AJ was certain that he did not want Nicole to be interrogated. My wife had nothing to do with this kidnapping. Was agitated. AJ directed Rafe to locate the true kidnapper. Rafe stated that he understood EJ's anguish over his son's loss. However, listen to me. I'm not accusing Nicole of anything. Please understand, I just need to speak with her. So just for a moment, be rational. All I'm doing is my job, Rafe explained. EJ stated that he understood, but as you can see, Nicole is not around, he replied. EJ recalls having a GPS app on his phone. When AJ checked the app, he saw that Nicole was still in the house. That implies she left her phone here. That's why she wasn't returning your calls, EJ explained. And her car is still parked in the driveway, Rafe said. AJ, and once again, Rafe, Nicole did not kidnap that child. And where the hell could she have taken him if she didn't have a car? AJ retorted. Rafe was told by AJ not to focus on Nicole and instead track out the kidnapper. Stephanie crept down the stairs and out the back entrance of the Brady pub. Leo stood outside the pub's front door, watching her. Why would Stephanie Johnson spend the night at the Brady pub? Leo inquired loudly. Leo lowered his gaze to his palm on Jude's stroller. Stephanie ran into Trip in the park. I had a bad night, which I brought on myself, Stephanie admitted. Wendy's smoothie was recommended by Trip, but the ingredients made Stephanie sick. How have you been? Stephanie inquired. Long hours. Stephanie commented. Stephanie was reminded as to whether her brother had returned. I'm sorry, I just feel terrible about it, Stephanie explained. Stephanie described how Chad's jealousy drove her away. That's pretty extreme. Trip pointed out, for me it was the last straw, Stephanie explained. I'm so sorry for what you're going through. Trip expressed his sorrow. Stephanie revealed that her relationship had been strained before Everett arrived in town. You seemed so happy together, Trip commented. Chad's still grieving Abigail and he still thinks of her as the love of his life, Stephanie went on to say. Trip saw that it was a difficult situation. Stephanie added, with a yes, that Everett had planned to propose to her previous to his accident. Stephanie stated that Everett had planned to propose when he arrived in Trip inquired. Stephanie revealed that she was worried about Chad's children because she had been their mother figure. I'm sure you were, but you have to do what's best for yourself, Steph. No one else, Trip explained. Trip saw that children were resilient and had a loving family to support them. Stephanie stated to Trip that she had stayed with Chad after Everett's return because she loved Chad. And have you talked to Chad after all this went down? Trip inquired. Stephanie informed Trip of her encounter with Chad and Alex. Stephanie recalls leaping into Harris's arms and kissing him. Trip stated Stephanie was advised by Trip not to discard her connection so abruptly. Stephanie expressed gratitude to Trip for his brotherly advice. I just want you to be happy, stated Trip. Stephanie called Everett after Trip left and encouraged him to meet for coffee. Sloan requested Marlena, Roman, and Eric not to pass judgment on her in the police station. I know I shouldn't have left my baby alone, Sloan admitted in hushed tones. Sloan was directed to glance at Marlena. No one blames you, and I don't want you to put the blame on yourself. What matters is that we find your baby, and that should be everyone's priority. It was you, Sloan stated. Whatever that implies, it wasn't me. This stroller was discovered in the alley behind the Brady pub. There is no baby within. I'm afraid there's nothing in it. I wish I could have discovered your child. You're my attorney, and you got me out of jail. Sloan Peterson, I owe you everything, Leo said. Sloan's jaw constricted. Harris thanked Leo and revealed that the forensics lab will dust the stroller for prints. I didn't touch anything but the handles, just so you know, he remarked. Let me know if you can remember anything else that can help us locate the baby, she replied. Leo nodded assent and promised Sloan and Leo into the interrogation room after following him out of the room. You think I took your baby? Leo inquired. Of course you did, just to get me to accede to your outlandish blackmail demands, Sloan went on to say. Leo contended that it made no sense for him to kidnap the infant and then hand over the empty pram to the cops. It makes perfect sense, snarled Sloan. Sloan would have told the police if he truly cared about the baby and felt Leo was the father. But you couldn't possibly do that, could you? Because then everyone will know he's not your baby, Leo explained. Sloan began to walk away, but Leo grabbed her arm. Are you really ready to be a mother? You're cruel, greedy, and everything a mother should not be. And hey, maybe I know where the baby is, Leo speculated. Sloan inquired as to what Leo enraged. Leo made a list of everything he desired, from a home to a career to a savings account. I don't have any of those. The only thing I have in this world is your dirty little secret, which I can blow away, Leo explained. Sloan sank into a chair after Leo left. Sloan deduced that Leo was the abductor. And now I have to tell them the truth, Sloan said quietly. Eric encouraged Marlena and Roman to leave the game. You need to stay positive, Marlena advised. Eric agreed to phone Marlena and Roman if there was any fresh information. They go and find that little guy, Roman promised. The servants at the DeMira mansion scoured the home for Nicole's phone and Nicole. Given Nicole's past and the timing of Nicole's absence when the baby was abducted, AJ understood why Rafe was suspicious. But Rafe, I know what had to have happened. Someone took her in order to get to me, AJ explained. You think she took the kid? Either Clyde or Harris inquired. I would suspect that, although I don't know how far she's going to get without her car, he remarked. Nicole's clothes and phone were also found at the house, according to Rafe. When Sloan returned to the bullpen, Eric inquired, What's going on? Sloan stated that she needed to speak with Eric about something. AJ pondered aloud at the DeMera estate where he could find Nicole. AJ stared toward the tunnel entrance. Is it possible? AJ said. When AJ opened the door to the wine cellar in the tunnels, he said, Oh my God. Nicole sat on her chair holding Jude. I apologize, AJ. I'm so sorry, Nicole apologized. EJ knelt next to Nicole and held her.